The murder victim is Freya Fellow, 19. She died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't really know anything. How is that possible? What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying that it's a knife. I suppose we should go interrogate other people. I'm gonna do this in the same order I did when I played alone for that little bit. So first I talked to Miss Hawkshaw. She's very hot, by the way. And the only thing of note here is that this dragon thing is missing its head. But I don't even think that was important. I just pointed that out. And there's a thing in here that we have to use a puzzle. Oh, not this puzzle again! I spent like a solid 15 minutes on this puzzle. And I opened it randomly. So that's gonna be fun if I have to open it randomly this time again. Is that a clock? If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces. Alright, and it's important for me to unlock this, so I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time. So what does it do? Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to figure this out again. I was gonna say they wouldn't have made it that easy. God damn it. Okay, Okay, damn it. My brain's trying to remember how I did this last time, because this was a 6, this was a 9. This is supposed to be a 12, and that's supposed to be a 3. Wait. Brain work here. I got it for the 9, but I fucked up the 6 somehow. Okay. Christ, I'm good at detective games, I swear. Wait. Yes! I did it randomly again! Yay! Oh, that was it! Oh my god. Okay, I cut most of that out, hopefully. It took me a bit. I did it randomly again! Hooray! What's in the box? A little tool thing. It looks like a telescope. I'm not actually sure what it is. A small brass tool carved glass lens. It has a screw at the base. Alright, Hawkshaw, let's talk to you. Oh jeez, okay, what voice should I give you? Alright, I will do something on the fly. Whoa, nice cape. You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking, but who are you and what is your business here? I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire. Private Detective Grimoire. Really? You're a detective? If this is a joke, it's not a good one. Who are you anyway? Oh, jeez, fucking... Professional. I am a professional. I'm Private Detective Hawkshaw. Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. I'll maybe become her sidekick. You're not on the Freya Fellow case too, are you? That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out information from persons unknown. Jesus Christ. This is why you don't get hired for voice acting, Jen. Oh, right. Now, if you would, I have work to do. I do like Hawkshaw. Her voice is very nice. Alright, yourself. It's not in my interest to discuss personal details. Even if you're the one even if you're one of the suspects in the murder. Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask. What are you doing here? I'm on a case, at the behest of my client. How long have you been at Tangle Tower? 133 hours. Huh. 5.5 days. Who are you working for? I'm not at liberty to answer that. Now I shall permit you one more question. What crime are you... How'd you get that scar? It's cool. You really think so? I date the hell out of fucking Hawkshaw. As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list. Did you find anything unusual? Nothing but a thin layer of dust, and an atmosphere of somber melancholy. I am doing a great job, I think. Was Flora in there at the time? She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. She didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior. What did you do after that? I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray. Fiona was in the library too? I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not. And you stayed in the library the rest of the day? Not quite. Alright. I think this part I can't pause if I remember correctly, so I'm gonna have to read well. You guys believe I can read well, right? Okay, good. Thank God. Before I didn't have to pause, now I do because I'm slow sometimes. Alright, towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly interrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented and decided to return off to my office in the stone square. I was passing through the front door and Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase in an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone, and I told her what had transpired. Then she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he too must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance, and he spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was clumsy and cumbersome as the man living it. Jesus Christ, no, pause. I forgot to pause. I think Sally said what? He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say. Alright, let's do what I do in Ace Attorney and show evidence to someone that shouldn't be seeing evidence. Just because she's a competing detective. Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on each side of a mansion. Have you searched the whole place? I believe so. Why? He wants to know if you found any secret rooms. Ha! I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too. You truly consider this a case file? What's wrong with it? No organization, no system. That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. It helps me think. How quaint. Where'd you dig that up? It wasn't buried. It was underwater. Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps. Have you deciphered... Oh wait, oh, that was Hawkshaw. Have you just... I'm saying it the exact same fucking way. This is what happens when I have to do voices on the fly. They don't, like, match sometimes. They sound similar because I don't have time to record and make sure it sounds different, at least a little bit. Okay. Have you deciphered the meaning of the 4 symbols on the harp? We're working on it. That's a no, then. Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that? No. No? Paints. Yep. Paints. The paint is still wet. Oh, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed. Do you know that? How? Because you were told? Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Florida wielding a knife. Not Florida. It's Flora. Jesus Christ. Alright, You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you? I did not. I concluded whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought to the room from outside. Useless. Oh. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself. Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing. A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking. A somewhat cumbersome device. An altogether inefficient way to listen to music. What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw? I like anything. That's what a cop-out. I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last. Interesting. You've gotten open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday, though Flora might be the one hiding something in there. I did not read any of that paragraph properly. I am an awful gamer. Alright. It was empty yesterday too. I think it's because I'm nervous. Because I did so well last time and I'm trying to live up to it while also being frazzled to the fact that I could potentially fuck up again. So I deeply apologize once again for being a bad YouTuber. It was empty yesterday too. It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. This belongs to you, Hawkshaw. Correct. And, what is it? It's my handheld microscope for close-up investigation work. How do you magnify with it? Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers. Have you used it here at Tangle Tower? I have. I've used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago. What were you looking for? That is between myself and my client. Alright. We learn later from talking to Percival that that's who she's working for. We still don't know what she's investigating, though, so knowing who asked for the investigation doesn't really help if we don't know what's being investigated. Alright, this guy. I know you guys can't see my mouse in the recording, but I'm circling the guy in the back. This frame right here is fucking terrifying. There's things we have to look at first. This fruit. There's one in... This one is in a little pot. Okay, that's definitely not edible. Looks like a gemstone, don't you think? Potted fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is an unusual blue color, just like the fucking unusual lake outside. The rest is pretty much flavor text. They, like, point out that the soil is blue. They point out that Freya used to like bugs. I think Fitz does that at some point in his dialogue, actually. Like, he collects the bugs for Freya, and I think that's really cute. Was there something here? I don't remember. Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening. Yeah, that's basically like the little bits of dialogue they have. I love flavor text, but if I already read it, I already read it. And I don't think you guys need to read it too. Until we get to parts that I haven't seen yet. This is something we can zoom in. I don't know if it's a puzzle for later, but I certainly can't solve it right now. A little chart of, Actually, I have no idea what this is about. My girlfriend would love this. These are Greek letters. I'm trying to learn Greek. This is still like alphabet soup to my brain. I have no idea. I know the sounds that these make. I don't know what these letters are called. Like, this looks like a B, but it's... Oh, no, I'm not even gonna say, because I'm gonna fuck up somehow. Alright, let's move on. What do you make of it? Not a whole lot. I think it's probably a code for something later, right? Let's talk to Fitz, the gardener. Sally, don't move. We're being watched. Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. I love his design. I love his purple hair. I love, like, the shape language. He's just a big guy, and I think he gives the best hugs. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other? Right, sorry. What voice should I give Fitz? Like something softer, maybe? That's kind of what he sounded like. He was like a soft, kind of gruff male voice. I suck at men's voices, so that's gonna be fun for me to figure out. Sorry. Does that work? I don't even know if like the different tones in my voice are picking up, but doing it on the fly is not my best bet, which is why I wanted to record instead of live streaming first, even though people were commenting that I should live stream games. I am not doing much better when I can retry. But I hope you guys are having fun. This will be fun to edit later. That's better. I'm Sally, and the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you? Fitzfellow, the gardener. And why are you so tall? I don't know. You work here? As the gardener. I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest. What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird. Right. Did you see the lake? The giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it. The color is just a byproduct. Of what? Poison? It's not poisonous. Not to you. And what's that got to do with the plants? The water controls all life. Just like... Damn it. This is why I need to pause when they're doing more than 2 sentences. Clouds form, rain falls, water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is... my brain didn't realize I needed to pause. I feel just like Grimoire right now. I'm sorry, guys. At least you guys have the opportunity to go back and read it if you want to see what he's saying. I don't have that luxury. There's no back button for me. Could you say that again, but like, condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person? Our lake water causes unpredictable alterations of DNA. Sometimes. Alterations? Like mutation? That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature. And you're the local expert on all this stuff? No. I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding. Sounds exciting. Was anyone else around? Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think. Did you speak to each other? A little. Not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. I didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room. And? Let me guess. Watering and weeding. Right. Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz? Alright, let's get his statement. Oh god, I need to cough. I'm not gonna remember all these shit I need to edit out. Excuse my coughing if I leave this in. Lovely. Alright. I should have left myself some water. I was up in the rooftop gardens. It was quiet. And then it wasn't. I can't describe it. It could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there. We? Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. We knocked on the door and shouted, but nobody responded. We became concerned. So you kicked the door down. I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room after a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. I hate that when I pause, the animation kind of skips. I get it, but I still want the animation to play even if I pause it. Because I've been pausing quite a bit. I didn't need to pause before, but now I do, and that makes me feel bad. Penelope arrived shortly after, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You normally don't see them two together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized that nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth at the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside for so long. When I told her about Freya, she fell silent. Alright, let's investigate you on other people. What about Flora? I like Flora. I hope she's alright. Do you think she had anything to do with the murder? There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. Additional suffering? I didn't cling on to that when I was playing it the first time. What did she do unintentionally? She questioned me. About what? My work. The plants. Bit of everything. Did she search the greenhouse? No, she didn't. Interesting, because Hawkshaw said that she explored every place in the tower, but maybe she didn't look outside yet? I don't know. You sure? Maybe she did it when you were in here. No, she hasn't touched it. How can you tell? Trust me, I can tell. She was always kind to me. She'd come to the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first, and eventually they started asking questions. About what? Poppy wanted to learn about the flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects. Insects? One of my jobs was to protect the plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She said, she'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind. Have you met this guy named Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you asked me. That's me. Yeah, it was a joke. I was joking. Oh, I see. Alright, let's ask him about all this stuff. Might cut this out, might not. We were having a good time, right? Right? It's been almost an hour of me playing. Nice painting. It gives you a pretty good idea of the layout. The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island. It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms. And those mountain cliff things around the outside, we don't know much about them. They aren't scalable. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have done that. What's that? This painting. It's speculative. There's no photographs from this angle as far as I know. So, Freya just made this up? Let's call it an informed estimation. Yeah, because we artists can do that. We can draw stuff from whatever angle we wish. Who gave you that information? Well, we don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously. I see. So what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer? I never thought about that. Honestly, it would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know? Yeah, it looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once. What were they saying? They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details. How odd. Paints are different to flowers. I'd say so, yeah. At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, flawless colors. Blue, red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form. There's something off about this. What is it? Why don't you take another look at Flora's room? You think we missed a clue up there? Not exactly. What do you think that is in Flora's hand? I don't know. It looks like a knife. But Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else. What? When we went to Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position. Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then. She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. That belongs to Poppy. So why is it up in Flora's tower? I'm not sure. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's an egg with feet. That is locked. But we opened it. And it was empty. Fun story. Have you ever seen this before, Fitz? No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room. That's not where we found it. Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her. This is a good example of how things work. I mixed that soil here in the greenhouse. I made this with water from the lake. It makes the fruit grow all shiny and... oh wait, that's Grimoire. And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gemstony. Sometimes. I never really know what's going to happen. And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit? Well, you look at it. Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in Fellow Tower. No. I kept saying no, I want to do my own my own investigation. So that's what we did.